Truth Seekers, it's Friday, July 16th. It's 7:15 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. This is kind of an evening edition of the Bitcoin Daily View. Once again, welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. All right, buy the dip. Is it wise? Is it not? Let's look at what's going on in the world and see what we think. Okay, shocking Bitcoin chart reveals massive crash looming. This is a video by Crypto Love. I linked it over at bitcoindailyview.com. It's a clickbaity title, but he makes a very, very good point. I think it has value, and if you look here, um, I linked to the chart that he used. You can just put this in a trading view, and it'll pop up for you. It's basically Bitcoin USD versus the M1 money supply. Really, really fun chart to look at. I think he's more talking about where we could. He found a great way of looking on a weekly chart with this method, and you can kind of see it behind him there. And will we bounce now or continue down further? Great video, 7 minutes. He covers it really, really well. Mark Moss is a new video. I put it up there at bitcoindailyview.com. It is phenomenal. It is an amazing history lesson on currency and Rome, basically, its rise and fall. It very, very encapsulated in like 25 minutes, and how that parallels where America is at exactly right now, and how where Rome went to from its currency to the florins is what kind of outlived that and lived for quite a while. Is America moving towards a sound money, which is Bitcoin, which would not only be America, but it would be a global currency, and not a evil globalist currency, but truly a global currency. So, if you want some mad wisdom, this video is for you. It's linked to over at bitcoindailyview.com. Check it out, and for 25 minutes of your time, you will gain massive, massive, massive knowledge. Yellen, as always, is saying dumb things. Several more months of rapid inflation before easing. Worries about housing impact. Anyway, from my study of this article and many others, it's not transitory inflation. It is inflation. It is what it is. You may say it's hyperinflation, but basically one way or the other, where it is where it's going to stay, give or take a little bit in different sectors, and that will be the new normal. And then they'll probably try to take it up about 2 to 3% at least yearly after that. So if you're screwed right now because of hyperinflation, you're screwed, and it probably won't change. So she's reassuring you that, I guess you could say, their plan is working. Bulgarian government actually owns 3 billion USD in Bitcoin. It came from a confiscation from bad guys, and it was only like 500 million when they first got it. Yeah, actually 500 USD, and now it's worth like 3 billion. So just think, if you'd invested $500 million back in the day, or $500,000, that's crazy. $500,000 worth of Bitcoin, you would have a lot right now. Oh my gosh, is that accurate? Wow. Anyway, pretty far out. Bulgaria, way to go. I just hope those bad guys were actually really bad guys. With that said, Biden's vaccine strike force plans things of desperation. I'll link this over at Bitcoin Daily View. If you are not a pro-globalist vaccine, Georgia Guidestones kind of person, then this article is definitely for you. It's packed with mad wisdom and firepower, as in knowledge firepower. Biden said they're killing people. He said basically the problem is unvaccinated people who are killing people. Well, even with your strike force, it doesn't mean the people are going to fall for this crap any longer. And with that said, um, uh, Vigilance, a European database of suspected adverse drug reaction reports. I don't want to say these over YouTube, these numbers, but just look at that if you so desire. I'll link to this article over at bitcoindailyview.com. You can check it out yourself. And then also check out the VARS database here, VAERS, I think they call it here in America, which of course now, according to many globalists, is a conspiracy theory. This, I just wanted to mention, video, Keith Olbermann says Second Amendment doesn't grant gun ownership rights to Americans. And why does he say that? Because it doesn't have own in it. This is ignorance of phenomenal levels. But what gets me about this is, if you have any knowledge of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the language in which it was written at the time, I mean, if you have any idea what the Bill of Rights and the foundation of human sovereignty and the sovereignty of the state. If you have any knowledge of this, and I know many Americans don't anymore, and that's fine if you don't. I guess you're just YOLOing your way through life, and screw it, nothing matters anyway. Go wait in the Gucci line or the Versace line and just waste your damn life, okay? But if you happen to be a living human being with a soul, you understand the Constitution and the Bill of Rights if you live in this country, and you understand the language in which it was written and the spirit of the law in which it was written. A lot of that came across in the Blackstone book laws, Blackstone uh, law books, basically, that were on the table when this stuff was written. It came from English common law, but we kept our Second Amendment where they did not in Europe. This is an abomination against, honestly, if you're religious, um, God's vision for this country. If you're not, it is an abomination against the letter and the spirit of the Bill of Rights. And to say something so phenomenally ignorant that it doesn't give you the right to own firearms because it doesn't say own in it, this is so ignorant and stupid. What bothers me more than just Keith Olbermann saying it, because he's just a retarded ass clown globalist. He doesn't even know what he's saying. He's just reading off a prompter. He's a moron. But what bothers me is that there are people dumb enough, neck bearded, flip flop wearing, Dorito eating retards on dirty couches watching cartoons, who see this. I guess they're listening to Keith Olbermann on some whatever, wherever you listen to this guy, wherever you watch this guy, and they're so ignorant that this actually could be targeted to them. So people are actually this dumb, and that's just really sad. So, Schumann Resonance today. It's kind of cranked up a little bit, but not too much, not too outlandish. Start watching the Schumann Resonance if you so desire. It's a chart, it has value. I linked to it over at bitcoindailyview.com. This is very, very powerful. And if you look at it, and you can look at the history here, you can actually kind of scroll down. You can look at the archives of it per month and such like that. And you can see where it's been getting progressively and progressively more lit up recently. So learn about it, watch it if you so desire. I think it represents human emotion, and I would say humans right now are very emotional. There's a lot bothering them. There's a lot of energy in human emotion right now. And when you look at the news that I just went over, well, no wonder why, huh? With that said, red day in the market today. Spot volume on Binance, 12 billion down 8.75%. Futures 47 billion down 8.84%. Bitcoin trading volume explicitly 2.7 billion, 1.6 of that on Binance. That's nothing. There is a long sentiment, 66% long, 33% shorts for Bitcoin on Binance. For Ethereum, 65% long, 34% shorts. So we do have I'm going to say with a slight long. I know it looks like a big spread, but just looking at the charts in general in the market, I would say we only have a slight long sentiment on Binance right now. Do note this is a 4-hour chart. The red here is the shorts. They are declining quickly, so the whales just kept stepping them up until they got the price action they wanted, until they defended the 30 to 40K range, just defend it. Now they're easing them off, and I think part of why they're easing them off is to not cause a dip below 30K, or at least one that is not too far. We'll see how it goes. I do note, where do I have this one chart? Yeah, here we go. This is 4-hour price action. It's been trending down. Had a little bit of pump recently. You can actually see these steps here, like one step, the next step. You can see the shorts are trailing off. But you can also see the longs gently increasing. So that's interesting. We'll see what happens this weekend. You say they are giving they are taking some long pressure off Bitcoin. So take a look at that. Keep an eye on that and see what happens. I often watch this on a 15-minute chart because I can see, watching that, I can often see, kind of predict some price action. If you see longs on a 15-minute chart shorts on a 15-minute chart really start to slack off, oftentimes as a predecessor to an upwards move, and vice versa. This is the chart that Crypto Love came up with. He referenced. Very, very powerful. I think it has value. Bitcoin versus Bitcoin USD versus M1 money supply. Phenomenal. I'll let him describe it. He does it better. But right now, looking at it on the daily, we're below the 200 moving average and the 314 moving average, and the MACD is just recently crossed negative. So anyway, be watchful. I'll let him describe it. It's only 7 minutes. This is a powerful chart. Um, I will not redo his work. He put it forth incredibly well. So one thing I want to note right here, if I can get this thing to cooperate. Here we go. Yes, there we are. Okay. So this is a daily chart, of course, and you can see right now we are we are below the 2 moving average and the 314 moving average. We are flirting with an area that we have bounced before, where we have support and resistance. You can see that we do have this. This is the VPVR, the visible range volume. So the max, volume where we find that comes in right at 34,415. So, which of course is right where the 314 is topping out right there. So we're a little bit low. We've gotten below the 314 moving average. I really want to see a bounce off this previous support and resistance, this previous bounce point. If we don't watch out, next little volume spikes we have are like around 28,800 and 26,744, and then way down here around 24,000. I don't think we'll quite go that low, but just watch out because the daily MACD is negative and that histogram is opening in the wrong direction. So this is a pretty darn weak chart. Watching on the daily for Bitcoin to bounce off this what has acted as support before. It makes sense that it would. In general, the price action tends to get pulled to as if these were magnets here, as if this was like a magnetic field, and like the greater the the taller it is, the more magnetism it has, And so there's a lot of magnetism pulling Bitcoin towards the upside if you want to see volume as magnetism, and also the 314 is right there, right at the max volume within this visible range here. So let's see if we get that upwards movement. We're hitting the weekend now. Not much trading volume. Not even 3 billion trading volume last 24 hours. Spot and futures are down as far as trading volume. I mean, if you're a long, it depends on what your strategy is, whether you care or not. You might be excited because you're a shorter. But one thing I can say, a little bit of positivity here, if we look here, is this right here. You've got boom, and then you've got another boom. And what are those? Even though we are below the 2 moving average on the 45-minute chart here, that is a higher high. Boom. That's kind of neat. Indicators are still not really supporting a move upwards, but as you can see, like these bottoms right here, if we go back to here on the daily, you can see they match up where we have bounced before. And I would do it right now. I'd fire up a 4-hour chart, and I would show this. This is a daily chart. On the 4-hour chart, this is actually a nice little thing to do also, but I don't want to do it. So you do it yourself. You'll see that is supported on the 4-hour. You can see it very well on the 4-hour chart. Anyway, looking at Ethereum. Oh, actually, I did. Here we go. Bitcoin versus USDT on the 4-hour chart. Here we go. You can see we are at a point, even though here, as I've drawn this box, you can see we've definitely. There we go. I drawing a box, so you can kind of see where we have it. We are at a point here in the 4-hour chart. You can see it very clearly. We're below the 2 moving average, but we are at a point where we have bounced in the past. So likelihood, maybe we'll bounce again, but we're definitely not in a healthy spot. And the daily MACD does not represent anything too positive to me. You can see that the let me expand this a little bit so these indicators mean a little bit. These indicators are, well, if you look at the wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear, he would say that we are kind of getting to a point, a bounce point of oversold. Squeeze indicators, overall is showing if I switch it out here a little bit, is showing kind of an upwards trend towards the positive. So on the 4-hour chart, directional index is still in the red. ADX is trending up, but it doesn't matter. That's because Bitcoin is dumping. So anyway, we'll see. It's all about here in the 4-hour chart. Are we going to bounce within this this area between like 30,000 basically and like 31, 32,000. Well, we're at 31,300. So really, we have to about 30K to bounce, and if we don't, well, we're already below the moving average on the 4-hour chart and on the 45-minute chart, and on the daily chart. And then, of course, the daily MACD is negative, and the histogram is widening. towards the negative. So that's a lot of downward pressure on Bitcoin. With that said, looking at Ethereum, well, Ethereum looks a lot like Bitcoin. Let's just say it's doing the same thing. It will do what Bitcoin does. This is Bitcoin Daily View. This is Bitcoin Daily View. Thank you, Bitcoin truth seekers, for being here. Sorry if I sound a little bit slow tonight. It's not a very inspiring day in the market. A lot of really heavy news out there. I don't mean to like ever be a downer and dump it on people, but I think it's important. And I think looking at, well, I'm an American. I care about what's happening in this country. I care about what's happening on the whole world, but I focus, on right here where I'm at and geopolitical events that matter to me. So sorry if you're European or something like that, or wherever you may be listening. Uh, and these things don't pertain to you, but really the global vibe and the global news do affect everything. And so heavy time, boring day in the week in the market. Overall, in my opinion, my sentiment is we may see this weekend some dumps. So with that said, have those miracle buys if you think Bitcoin might hit 29K, 28K, put a limit order in. Give it a shot. Just know it may plummet right past that. So overall, I'm still very bullish, long term, kind of. But you know what? Right now, I'm kind of feeling this. Do you really want to buy this dip? Is it just basically, buying a dip into oblivion? The future is very uncertain for Bitcoin right now, and I know I'm probably sounding like a bit of a downer, but do your risk management. Have a plan for Bitcoin dumping. Have a plan for it going sideways. Have a plan for it pumping, and don't put all your eggs in one basket. And just realize the world's crazy. And well, there you go. And remember, for every uh, Bitcoin Satoshi you own, you make a piece of shit banker cry. So take care.